Good afternoon. Today is April the 3rd, 2022. Wow, welcome to April. Waiting on those April showers. They kind of haven't happened yet. Out here in California, we really need the rain. I'm not going to hold you very long. I have some exciting news. I want you to be sure that you tune in each and every week from 3:30 to about 4:30, but specifically on April the 17th, we're going to have a special guest in studio, Mr. DB Bedford himself, the emotional intelligence guy, the I never worry. Man. We're going to have a good time here in studio. I look forward to that. If you want to be a guest on my show, you can always put your information in the chat. You can messenger me. You can also email me at Believe Radio Yolanda at gmail.com. So today's segment is about and around mindset. A lot of things have been really happening. Within the last month, I've attended two funerals. And for me, it was all about the mindset. For me, it was all about how I looked at, death, their legacy, and it's just a lot of people. It seems like been dying lately, and it's you know what? It's a part of life. There's nothing wrong with death. Death is not something that's bad. It hurts. We want to hold on to that person. We want to keep that person here. We want to hold on to those memories, but we can absolutely still do that. At the end of the day, I was taught as a young girl, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And we all are born to die. We can't stop it. We can prolong it. And we thank God for medicine. We thank God for research. We thank God for all the people that, have the funds to put into, help these clinicians do all this different type of studies so that it can help prolong their life. Because of research, I'm still here. Praise God. I'm knocking on wood. I'm still here, and I pray that God will continue to allow me to live, and I often people have asked me, how do I cope? How do I deal? How I've been able to be successful in this life. And I'm about to be honest, mindset. I had to change my mindset. I don't care how the circumstance look. You have to be able to change your mindset. So kind of let's look at what mindset is. So in the dictionary it says the mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. Now we know there's different kinds of mindsets. There's negative mindsets, there's positive mindsets, it's the kind of mediocre in between mindsets. And sometimes our upbringing and things that we have been around can influence our mindsets. I know, and I deal with a lot of people. I've been blessed to, have acquaintances, to have friends, to have family, and dealing with different personalities, dealing with people attitudes and people temperament. It has a lot to just do with what they're being surrounded by. You don't have to succumb to your circumstances, right? I have people that I deal with that's kind of always negative. But instead of me getting mad and angry with them, in my mind, I think of, what, they're dealing with some trauma. They haven't healed from this. And I'm not saying let nobody disrespect you because there's a difference. I'm just simply saying that for me, I'm working on changing my mindset in every area of my life. I'm not a licensed psychologist or therapist, but I'm just a person, someone who has had enough experience to be a life coach, a cancer coach, and somebody that's just sharing her testimony and her experiences. Whatever I may say or give you, if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't, take it and maybe it can help somebody else, or come up, maybe it can help you change your mindset on some different things that you may have been struggling with. Just because you may not like me, I can still have a good word for you. I can still drop a nugget for you. You'll catch that later. So the three different mindsets that I like to focus and hold on today is abundance, positive, and growth. Abundance, positive, and growth mindset. You know, whenever I talk about something, sometimes I'll know ahead of time, like because I try to make out each week what I would like to talk about. But sometimes when I wake up, my spirit says do something else. And so today is one of those things because I had planned on talking about something else. And I'll revisit that next week. So one of the things that I know I shared with someone, they was telling me they didn't know how to change their mindset. One of the things that we can do is we can ask ourselves these questions. How can I make the most or the best out of this situation? For example, let's say that you know, you're in a partnership, you're in a friendship, and financially, if you leave that situation at that moment, it will put you at a strength. This is an old saying, fake it till you make it. And I'm not saying be fake. What I'm saying is set yourself up, put yourself in a situation to where when it's time for you to make a move, you make that move. Like I have she's not a friend, but she's an acquaintance, and she's expressed to me she doesn't like her living situation, and she has a couple of children. And the guy that she's living with, uh, she's not in love with him anymore. She doesn't want to be there, but she doesn't have the resources right now to be out on her own. And so, my suggestion to her is to sit down and number one, and talk to this person. Do you feel like this person have love for you? Do you feel like this person has your best interest at heart? And if you do feel that way, try to talk about how you guys can collaborate and communicate better, right? You have to change your mindset because she always says to me he's always nagging and, you know, that other word I can't say on air. And I've seen some of it, so I understand what she's saying. But put yourself in a position to where you don't need that individual, right? You don't know what that person may be going through. This person is kind of up in age. So, we go through stages. That's a whole nother topic, a whole nother situation. But, you start off as infant, a toddler, youth, young adult, uh, middle aged, old aged. I'll probably skip some in there, but we all go through steps. And as you get older, things kind of change a little bit. Sometimes some people who get older, they kind of go back to like their childhood. And that's why it's so important to be surrounded by family and friends and people that have the mindset that when you get older, you have somebody that will help take care of you and help nurture you because they need that. I can speak from experience. I'm getting older and I could just tell the difference from when I was in my youth. And if we, as the older generation, can instill in the younger generation different things and different steps and help change their mindset, like in the beginning, at a very young age, talk to them and teach them about having good credit. It's not about running your credit up and going out and getting all this fancy stuff that you really can't afford, that you're trying to impress and keep up with the Joneses. Then you have bad credit. And then when you get in a position and you're blessed with a nice job and you want to get a house and you can't because you got all this stuff on your credit, use, mindset, emotional intelligence, all that kind of plays into one another. We're going to actually be talking about emotional intelligence and we're going to go dive into it and we're going to drop some good nuggets to you. So tune in on April the 17th. You're not going to want to miss this show. So, changing your mindset, ask yourself, how can I make the best out of this situation? Adopt a different set of assumptions. Ooh, how many of you make assumptions? How many of you can wake up, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, go on all these different social medias and make an assumption that somebody's talking about you? And not only do you make an assumption, you run with it. You just know they're talking about you. Now, don't get me wrong. I know people send subliminal messages. Don't get me wrong. I'm well aware of that. Some was shot at me. But let me just tell you something. Have you ever thought maybe the universe wanted you to see that message to kind of help you think about maybe I need to change some things about myself? It wasn't to really um, throw shade at you specifically. Have you ever thought that person was dealing with other people and they could be going through similar or the same thing? You ever thought about it that way? Have you ever been? So I was having a conversation with someone recently, and she actually gave me a different perspective on something. And I told her, "Thank you for sharing this with me." So I could have gotten mad or took it a different way. And basically, what the person was just saying is that, you know, when you were going through something, when you had a rough patch in your life, I was there to support you. I was there to encourage you. And this has nothing to do with money. But when I hit a bad patch in my life, for example, it could be you lost your loved one, right? Let's say you lost your loved one, I don't know, years ago. People supported you. And then you have someone that you're close to and they lose your loved one. What do? Do you reciprocate that same energy, that same love, or do you continue to conflict negativity on that person? Everybody handles death differently. Let me just say that. um, Death is hard, and some deaths have affected me more than others. But how I was able to get through those times was my mindset. I had to change my mindset, or I probably would have lost my mind by now. You know, I lost my daughter. For those of you who know me and who don't know, I lost a daughter that was 2.5 years old back in 2000. That hurt me. That was something that to this day, if I could change back the hands of time, this would be one of those times. This absolutely would be one of those times. But with me changing my mindset, I tell myself every day that I'm going to see her again one day. And that's how I'm able to keep going. There's no other way. I don't care how much schooling I've gone to, I don't care how much therapy somebody may have given me or have or resources. What helps me cope and deal and wake up every day is because I know that I'm putting myself in a position that I will see her again one day. Now, do I know how things is going to work in the afterlife? Absolutely do not. Yes, there's a guide. We have the Bible. We have a guide that was left of us, but none of us have been able to go and come back. So we really don't know. We're stepping out on faith. We're using our mindset that what's in this word, in this guide, is that it's going to be what it is. And that's what I have, you have to hold on to. Now I know that there's different religions and different faiths. I don't even get into that. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person that believes in God. You know, my mindset, it was instilled in me as a young girl that there's a God, to believe and have faith. And I have evolved over the years. But could you imagine if you start instilling in your youth, in these children, about having a positive and an abundance mindset, what that means for them? Let me share something with you. A year ago, I start reciting and saying some affirmations. When the pandemic hit, I wasn't able to really work, and a couple of my contracts got canceled. And so my finances changed. And of me mismanaging my funds, oh, yes, YT did that. I wasn't being a good stewardship over my money. So things shifted for me. So I had a choice. I could have either just been down and depressed and sad and just wallow in it. I had to change my mindset. I was like, I don't like this. Me and broke is a no. What's that song by what is his name? Two Chains. Me and Broke don't get along. And it's funny because when I first heard that song, I was feeling it. No, 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 no. So for me, what I did was I started reciting some affirmations. And one of the affirmations was multiple streams of income come to me in increasing amounts. And I recited this. I think I did it, if I'm not mistaken, 12 times. And I did it every day for like 7 days. And then I continued to do that. I follow someone by the name of Bob Baker on YouTube. Check him out. Change your life. I started reciting those affirmations. And before long, I started having multiple streams of income. And it's funny because when it started happening, I didn't even recognize it. I was like, oh, wow, this thing really works. It really, really works. And you have to believe. Let me just tell y'all something with the powerfulness of having faith. To have faith, y'all, I mean absolute faith. I don't mean the itty bitty faith where you waver. I'm talking about that absolute faith where you know things are always going to work in your favor. Man, my affirmations that I say, it teaches us that we're supposed to say it, like with emphasis and just really mean it. Sometimes I don't. But even in those moments, my subconscious mind, because your brain don't know the difference. What you put in your subconscious mind is kind of what goes out into the universe. So, the universe doesn't know the difference. So you have to speak in those things as though they are. And that's exactly what I do. Like, I know I've been hearing some people say, oh, they're broke. And I kind of just clench because I just hate that word. Don't say that because no, my father is rich and so am I, and I listen to people and at times, other people or either myself have given them some ideas where they can really make some generational wealth. And for whatever reason, they're afraid. But I just want to share something with you. We are designed to be able to not only take care of ourselves, but be put in a position where we can also help others. Stop being in that broke mentality. Please get out of that broke mentality. And I'm talking to myself too. There's been things that I wanted to do and I kind of shied away from it. But like right now, it's some things that I'm finna dive into. I sure am. And I've had people say, oh, you don't know what you want to do. Oh, I know exactly what I want to do. And that's have multiple streams of income. And as long as it's doing something that, is legal, oh, YT's always going to go after it. I don't care who it is, what it is. And it's funny because I told my oldest son, because I've been going to so many funerals, I was like, wow. I said, do you remember everything that your mama have done over the years? And I said, I said, maybe I need to write some stuff down because I had to start thinking about some of the things I've done, but I've always just done things for survival. I mean, I was married at one point in my life, but even in my marriage, Yolanda still wanted to have her own. I never wanted to or liked to depend on others because let me tell you about people. They would do something for you and for whatever reason, when they get mad, or if you don't do something they like, they want to throw it up in your face. I have someone that kind of mentioned that to me that they have a relative that if you don't agree with them, they're not going to help them. So they kind of have to agree with them. Oh, absolutely not. I don't ever want to be in that position. We all are our own individuals. We all are unique. God made us all differently. I don't have to agree with you. Oh, no, 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 no. I got my own mind. Now, my mind may be a little compromised at times, but I got my own mind. I got my own vision. And abundance is something that flows from my mouth and will continuously flow from my mouth. And let me share something with you. Abundance is not just money. I know some of us think and tie abundance to money, but abundance is not only money. Abundance, I'm abundant in my health. I'm abundant in my mind. I'm abundant in my giving, my living, my lifestyle. I am abundant. If you wake up every morning, the first things that should be coming out your mouth is thanking God for allowing you to live and see another day. God, thank you for my abundant lifestyle. Keep telling yourself you have an abundant lifestyle. And guess what's going to happen? The universe has no option but to deliver that to you. Change your mindset. I don't care if you live in the projects. I don't care if your significant other is being negative. You can make that change. That person can see you making these positive changes. It can help you. Stop always taking things and taking constructive criticism as something bad or something that somebody's trying to do against you. Okay? Positivity. I remember one time I was telling somebody that I'm striving to be positive in all areas, and they told me, "Oh, that's impossible. You can't do that." Why not? I want somebody that's watching this show right now tell me why you, the community, can't strive for positivity in every situation. In every situation that I have ever faced in this life, I strive to turn it around. I try to find a lesson that I can learn from it. Case in point, I lost my daughter. She was 2.5 years old. At the time she died, I just couldn't see past why. I didn't understand it. And as time went on, as the years went on, it has been revealed to me why he took her. And it wasn't so much to hurt me, it was to develop and grow me. My daughter would have suffered if she would have lived. And God knew that. And a lot of times we don't foresee or know the future. If have a friend, whether it's intimate or not, and you guys are having a disagreement, if you see that it's going to escalate into where you guys are start going to disrespecting one another, maybe it'll behoove you. Maybe the best thing to do is at that moment detach yourself from it. You guys can come back and revisit it at another time. Have you ever thought about looking at it from their perspective? See, sometimes we get set in our ways. We want to only see things the way we want to see them. But maybe we should step back a little bit and think about, you know what? Let me look in the mirror. I have done some of these same things in the past, or try to look at it from their perspective. We all have grew up different. Some more harsher than others. I know people who grew up in a drug environment. They grew up in a poor environment. They grew up in a middle class environment. They grew up in a rich environment. Everybody have grew up in an environment that wasn't conducive to, how they want to be. And I do want to stop and just say this. I know we're probably all tired of hearing about the Will Smith and Chris Rock, but I'm gonna share something with you. It's just really breaks my heart that the people who claim to have forgiveness, to have love in their heart, who claim to be Christians or whoever, whatever, are the main people that I saw passing so much negativity, so much judgment. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it. At the end of the day, this is rich people problems. You know, Will Smith, I grew up on him. I still have a lot of love and respect for him. Chris Rock, I'm a fan of his. They had a disagreement just like you have disagreements within your family, just like you have been disrespectful and have done things and you guys were able to work it out. Let them two work it out. It's not about, oh, this person was wrong, this person was wrong. So what? What have you done in your background? And the cold part about it is, some of you probably have done exactly what happened. But you want people to forgive you, but then, you don't want them to be forgiven or ridiculed. That didn't happen. We can move past it. It is my understanding they've talked about it, they have it. That's their issue. You just worry about what you need to be working on. All right? That's just my opinion about it. And that kind of brings me into my next section, and it's about growth. Sometimes you have to go through some things to have a growth mindset. If we all were just positive all the time and never went through anything, we never experienced nothing, how can we grow? Growth is important. It's vital to survival. If you just stay stagnated in the same place, the same situation, and you never change, how are you going to grow? How can you give back and help others grow? So it's all about having an abundant, a positive, and a growth mindset. I'm going to be totally honest. I honestly believe just from the words, because some people was like, oh, those are not their words. And the publicist said this. No, 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 no. I honestly believe after that incident with Will Smith and Chris Rock, they both can grow from it. I've seen an apology on both sides. Chris Rock apologized for his being insensitive and, just saying certain things. And then, according to Will, because there was different apologies, he's able to grow and learn from this. Like, wow, might not be the wisest decision. So to me, it's important to have a growth mindset, for the better. You don't have to change for nobody else. You should want to change for you. And sometimes people don't feel like they need to grow for whatever reason. You know, I love my mother dearly. Man, that's my mom. I'm gonna just leave it like that. That's my mom. I love her. Recently she told me that she was just proud of me and some other things that she's never said to me before. It had to take my mother to grow to be able to say those words for me. She shared some other things, and I was just in awe, because some things I have been feeling over the years, and wow, the things that I was feeling, she was able to say, you know what? I know I haven't always said this to you. I know I haven't always done this, but blah, blah, blah. Growth mindset. Even with myself, I'm in a situation where, um, I know that I'm being tested. I'm in the season of being tested. There are a couple of resources that was supposed to be paid to me, and it didn't happen. And it's funny because I woke up. I had got a direct deposit for it was like 156, and it should have been more like 1,500. So when I looked at it, I kind of cleared my eye. I was like, wait, what? And when I saw it, it's funny, you guys, I didn't get mad. Now, before I did, because this wasn't the first time that this happened, I just said, you know what, God, you know what I need. I went back to sleep. And what's crazy is that same week, God blessed me unexpectedly with $8,500 within that same week. So changing your mindset, trust me when I tell you, will make all the difference in the world. For those of you who always want to control things and thinking that you're always right, I'm not saying that you're not right. You probably could be. But just think about where you were before you got to this confidence level, before you came this matter expert in your field. Stop being so quick to "I told you so" or "I knew you should have did it this way." I'll be in that position all the time. But what good is that going to do? How is that going to help that other individual? I don't know about you, but let me tell you how I would like to be remembered by. I would like to be remembered by, she helped me to have better outcomes throughout my life. That's it, and that's all. That's the mindset that I have. My mindset is, because I have a couple of family members that's not speaking to me. I have a couple of people that I thought was friends are not speaking to me. But it's my mindset that's getting me through. I'm not going to be losing no sleep. I ain't lost that much sleep. If you don't want to rock with me, you don't want to roll with me, my clock is not going to stop. I'm still be popping. And this is not being cocky. This is me just being confident because I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. I'm wise enough to know that, you know what, Yolanda, you could have did this in a different way. And I am still developing and I'm still growing. I spent time with my grandchildren yesterday at their softball game, and they asked me how old I was. And she said, "Oh, I thought you was 64." And I was like, "Girl, stop playing with me." She was like, "No, Grandma, I thought you was 64." I'm like, "No, I am not." I'm like, "You way over my years." And so, um, how I interact with my grandchildren is the same. And so, one of the assistant coaches' daughter, I heard somebody say, "Hey, Grandma," and I was like, "Yes." And they was like, "That was I forgot the little girl name." And she was like, "Can I call you Grandma?" I said, "You sure can." And just how I treated my grandchildren, I treated her, play with them, talk to them. Like, I love children. I love kids. I don't know, maybe I should do a daycare. I have a few people I know that love kids as well. And we can do something 24/7. Yeah, for the parents that work graveyard, or if you want to go out or you want to do something, I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm just throwing that out there. Another stream of income. Anyway, I'm not gonna hold you long. I just want to give you something to think about on trying to do a mindset change. Baby steps. If you can't do like the abundance and the positive and the growth, you can do them interchangeably. Work at something one at a time. If you're in a situation right now, I know somebody that's in a situation right now that don't want to be in. Change your mindset. Make the best of that situation. Go put your feet in some water. Go have some wine, a nice little cocktail. Write in your journal. Read your Bible. Just kind of reflect and do you. But change your mindset. It starts with you. Thank you for listening. Please tune in next week. I'm going to have some good information for you. Thank you for tuning in to Believe Radio, 24-hour inspirational and gospel music. You no longer have to wait until Sunday mornings. You can tune in anytime. You can listen to it on your break. You can listen to it on your lunch. Sometimes when I'm just going through, I just tune in and I listen to it. I thank you for Mr. Curtis and Etymology and my other radio host. Let's continue to uplift one another. Thank you for tuning in. I have a challenge today. I would like for you to write down 10 things, 10 things that you are thankful or grateful for. Write down 10 things that you are grateful and thankful for. And also write down some things that you would like to see changes in your life. Nobody has to see this but you. And I would say email it to yourself, like, do a new email and write down those 10 things. You can go back and revisit. And if you see any changes, you can go back and say, oh, you know what? This really do work. Yeah. So just write down 10 things that you're grateful for, 10 things that you're thankful for. And then write down some things that you want to see happening right now in your life, but write it as if it's happening. I can give an example. Like I wrote a book back in 2019, I think, or was it 2020? One of those years. And it's called Anecdotes of the Soul. I am going to be doing a film. I did do a movie trailer, but I am actually going to be doing a film. And right now I'm in the process of writing out what that's going to look like and what I desire. And it's going to happen. You watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. Before this year is out, you guys are going to get your invitation to my movie. Thank you. Peace out. Over and out.